Every evening, Harper, Anna's loyal golden retriever, would return home wagging her tail, a ball of energy ready to settle down. But one crisp autumn night, Harper brought someone else with her, an identical stray puppy. Anna froze in disbelief. What Harper had uncovered would change everything. The golden hues of sunset bathed the quiet suburban street where Anna lived with her golden retriever, Harper. Anna, a freelance artist in her early 30s, had moved to this peaceful neighborhood a year ago after leaving the chaos of the city. Her life revolved around her cozy little home and Harper, who had become her constant companion since she adopted her from a shelter 2 years ago. That evening, Anna sat on her porch with a sketchbook, sipping chamomile tea as the cool breeze rustled the leaves. Harper had gone for her usual evening outing, a habit the dog had developed, exploring the nearby park before trotting back home just in time for dinner. Anna glanced at the clock. "Harper's running late," she murmured, standing up to call her. As she opened the front door, she heard the familiar sound of paws against the gravel. A smile crept across her face until she noticed something strange. Harper wasn't alone. Trailing closely behind her was a smaller, scruffier version of herself. The stray's fur was golden like Harper's, slightly matted but undeniably similar. Its eyes, wide and curious, mirrored Harper's in a way that made Anna's breath catch. She crouched down, her heart racing. "Harper, who's this?" she whispered, glancing between her dog and the new arrival. Harper wagged her tail furiously, circling the stray as if introducing a long-lost friend. The stray stepped cautiously forward, its movements hesitant but trusting. Anna reached out a hand, and the puppy sniffed it tentatively before giving a tiny lick. "You're not just a random stray, are you?" Anna muttered, studying the pup's uncanny resemblance to Harper. She noticed the stray had no collar and looked slightly underfed. A pang of sympathy mixed with curiosity. "Where did you find this little one, Harper?" Anna asked, though the dog simply barked once, as if trying to answer. As Anna led both dogs into the house, a sense of unease crept over her. This was no ordinary coincidence. Something about this stray felt different, as if it carried a story waiting to be uncovered. Anna guided Harper and the stray into the living room, the cozy space aglow with the warm light of a table lamp. She reached for a bowl and filled it with water, setting it down for the stray. Harper, always the welcoming host, nudged the bowl closer to the new arrival with her nose, wagging her tail as if encouraging the pup to drink. As the stray lapped at the water hungrily, Anna knelt beside it, running her fingers through its fur. The texture was rough and unkempt, but beneath the tangles, she could feel the makings of a soft, healthy coat. "Poor thing," she murmured. "Where have you been all this time?" Her artist's eye couldn't help but notice the details. The stray had the same golden fur as Harper, the same expressive almond-shaped eyes, and even a matching patch of white fur on its chest. The resemblance was uncanny, almost eerie. Harper sat beside the stray, her posture protective, as if saying, "This is family." Anna grabbed her phone and snapped a few pictures of the two dogs side by side, intending to post them on a local lost and found pets group. But as she stared at the images, doubt gnawed at her. The stray didn't seem like someone's lost pet. Its cautious demeanor and matted fur suggested it had been on its own for some time, and yet there was something about its bond with Harper that felt deeper, more intentional. That night, as the two dogs curled up on Harper's bed in the corner of the living room, Anna stayed up late doing research. She scrolled through online forums, searching for any explanations for how two dogs could look so similar. Her search history quickly filled with phrases like "dog siblings reunited" and "how to tell if dogs are related." One article caught her attention: "Reunited strays, stories of sibling dogs finding each other." The article shared heartwarming tales of dogs from the same litter crossing paths after years apart, drawn together by some unexplainable instinct. Anna's heart skipped a beat. Could it be possible? Could Harper and the stray be siblings? The next morning, Anna decided to investigate. She called the local animal shelter where she had adopted Harper. "Hi, this is Anna. I adopted a golden retriever named Harper from your shelter about 2 years ago," she began. "I was wondering if you have any information about her background, like if she had siblings." The woman on the other end, Lisa, was friendly but hesitant. "We don't always have detailed records, especially for dogs that come from overcrowded shelters or are rescued from the streets," Lisa explained. "But let me check our files and see if anything stands out." Anna waited, her heart pounding as she paced the room. Harper and the stray watched her intently from their spot on the rug, their heads tilted in unison. After what felt like an eternity, Lisa came back on the line. "Okay, here's what I found," she said. "Harper came to us as part of a rescue from an abandoned property. There were several dogs on the premises, including a litter of puppies. We managed to save most of them, but we couldn't account for all the pups. It's possible Harper had siblings who weren't rescued." Anna's breath caught. "So, it's possible this stray could be related to Harper?" Lisa hesitated. "It's not impossible," she said carefully. "But without DNA testing, there's no way to know for sure." Anna hung up the phone, her mind racing. She looked over at the two dogs, now playfully tugging at one of Harper's old chew toys. "What do you think, Harper?" she said aloud. "Is this your long-lost sibling?" Harper barked in response, the stray joining in as if echoing her excitement. Anna couldn't help but laugh, the sound easing the tension that had been building in her chest. Determined to uncover the truth, Anna decided to take the next step. She booked an appointment at the local vet clinic for the stray. "If we're going to figure this out, we need to make sure you're healthy first," she told the pup as she scratched behind its ears. The stray leaned into her touch, its eyes closing in contentment. The vet visit was uneventful but insightful. "The stray is in good health overall," Dr. Martinez said as she examined the pup. "It's a female, about 2 years old, just like Harper. She's underweight, but nothing a good diet can't fix." Anna mentioned the possibility of a sibling connection, and Dr. Martinez nodded thoughtfully. "It's definitely worth looking into," she said. "If you'd like, we can perform a DNA test. It won't be cheap, but it'll give you a definitive answer." Anna didn't hesitate. "Let's do it," she said, her determination growing. As the vet swabbed the stray's cheek, Anna felt a mix of anticipation and apprehension. What if the test confirmed her suspicions? What would it mean for her and Harper? And if it didn't, could she still justify keeping the stray? That evening, as they waited for the DNA results, Anna began to notice subtle but undeniable connections between the two dogs. They mirrored each other's movements, from the way they tilted their heads to the way they wagged their tails in perfect sync. They played together as if they had known each other forever, Harper often letting the stray win their tug-of-war battles. Sitting on the couch, Anna watched them with a mixture of wonder and hope. "Whatever the results say," she whispered to herself, "this little one belongs here. She's already part of our family." A week later, Anna received a call from Dr. Martinez. The DNA test results were in. Her hands trembled as she answered, Harper and the stray resting side by side at her feet. "Hi, Anna," Dr. Martinez began. "I've got the results for you." Anna's heart raced. "And—" Dr. Martinez paused, her tone cautious but warm. "The two dogs are a genetic match. They're siblings." The words hit Anna like a wave. She looked down at the two dogs, now playfully nudging each other on the rug. "Are they sisters?" she whispered, her voice filled with awe. "Yes," Dr. Martinez confirmed. "They likely come from the same litter." Anna thanked the vet and hung up, her mind swirling with emotions. On one hand, the revelation was incredible. Harper had found her sister. But on the other, it raised so many questions. Where had the stray been all this time? How had she survived? And why had she come back now? That evening, Anna decided to document her findings on social media. She posted a side-by-side photo of Harper and the stray bee, along with a heartfelt caption. "2 years ago, I adopted Harper, a golden retriever mix from a local shelter. Last week, she brought home this stray who looks just like her. DNA testing confirmed they're sisters. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude that these two found their way back to each other. If anyone has any information about the stray's past, please reach out. Let's piece together her story." The post quickly went viral, garnering hundreds of comments and shares. People were captivated by the story of the reunited sisters, offering theories, encouragement, and support. Some shared similar experiences of pets finding their way back to lost family members, while others simply expressed admiration for Harper and the stray's bond. A few days later, Anna received a message from a woman named Lisa, who claimed to recognize the stray. "I think I might know this dog," the message read. "She used to roam near an old farm outside town. My family and I fed her when we could, but we could never catch her. We called her Goldie because of her beautiful coat." Anna's pulse quickened as she read the message. Could this be the key to uncovering the stray's past? She quickly responded, arranging to meet Lisa at the farm to learn more. The next morning, Anna loaded Harper and the stray, now officially named Goldie, into her car and drove out to the address Lisa had provided. The farm was tucked away on a quiet road, its weathered barns and open fields bathed in the golden light of morning. As they pulled into the driveway, Lisa emerged to greet them, her kind eyes lighting up at the sight of the dogs. "So, this is Goldie," Lisa said softly, kneeling to greet the stray. Goldie approached her hesitantly, her tail wagging slowly. "I haven't seen her in months. She used to come around here often, scavenging for food." Anna listened intently as Lisa recounted the stray's appearances. "We always wondered where she came from," Lisa continued. "She was skittish but sweet, like she was used to being around people before." "Do you think she lived on the farm?" Anna asked, her gaze sweeping over the property. Lisa shook her head. "No, the farm's been abandoned for years. But she might have been born nearby. Maybe she stuck around because it felt familiar." Intrigued, Anna decided to explore the area with Harper and Goldie. They walked through the fields, the dogs sniffing eagerly at every bush and patch of grass. As they approached one of the old barns, Goldie suddenly froze, her ears perking up. "What is it, girl?" Anna asked, following the stray's gaze. Goldie darted towards the barn, barking excitedly. Harper followed, the two dogs disappearing through a gap in the weathered wood. Anna hurried after them, her heart pounding. Inside, the barn was dim and filled with the scent of hay and damp wood. Goldie and Harper were circling a pile of old blankets in the corner, barking and wagging their tails. Anna approached cautiously, her breath catching as she noticed a faint carving on the wall above the blankets. "Goldie's Litter, 2019. The words were etched deeply into the wood, weathered but legible. Anna's fingers traced the carving as a chill ran down her spine. This was a clue, perhaps left by someone who had cared for the litter before the farm was abandoned. Lisa entered the barn moments later, her face a mix of curiosity and surprise. "I've never noticed that before," she said, peering at the carving. "Whoever left it must have cared about those puppies." The discovery raised more questions than answers, but Anna felt a sense of closure knowing that Goldie and Harper's beginnings were tied to this place. As they left the barn, Anna took a deep breath, the golden light of the afternoon washing over her. She felt a renewed sense of purpose, not just to give Goldie a safe and loving home, but to honor the journey that had brought these two sisters back together. That evening, back at home, Anna placed the photo of Harper and Goldie beside her computer. She began writing a journal entry about their journey, her thoughts flowing freely as she reflected on the twists and turns that had brought them here. "Sometimes, life has a way of leading us back to the ones we're meant to find," she wrote. Harper found Goldie, not just by chance, but because their bond was stronger than time or distance. And in bringing her sister home, Harper has shown me the true meaning of family. Back home, the dynamic between Harper and Goldie began to shift. While they had been inseparable at first, sharing a bond born of familiarity, subtle differences in their personalities started to emerge. Harper was energetic and outgoing, always eager to greet visitors or play fetch in the yard. Goldie, on the other hand, remained cautious and reserved, often retreating to her favorite corner when she felt overwhelmed. Anna watched the sisters interact, marveling at their connection while also feeling a twinge of concern for Goldie. It was clear the stray had lived a difficult life. Though she had found safety in Anna's home, her past had left scars, both visible and invisible. One morning, as Anna prepared breakfast, she noticed Goldie pacing near the back door. Her tail was low, her movements restless. "Do you want to go outside?" Anna asked, opening the door to let her out. Harper darted past her, eager to explore the yard. but Goldie hesitated, sniffing the air cautiously before stepping onto the grass. Anna followed, watching as Goldie wandered to the far corner of the yard. She seemed drawn to the boundary fence, her nose pressed against the ground as if searching for something. Harper bounded over, barking playfully, but Goldie didn't respond. She stood there, her body tense, gazing into the distance. Later that day, Anna decided to reach out to Dr. Martinez for advice. "Goldie seems unsettled," she explained during a phone call. "She's eating and sleeping well, but there's something about her behavior that feels off. It's like she's still searching for something, Doctor." Martinez listened thoughtfully before replying. "It's not uncommon for dogs with traumatic pasts to take time to adjust. Goldie might be processing her new environment or trying to reconcile it with her memories. Have you considered working with a behaviorist to help her settle in?" Anna nodded, making a note to look into it. "I just want her to feel safe and loved," she said softly. "And she will," Dr. Martinez reassured her. "You've already given her a second chance at life. With patience, she'll learn to trust and feel at home." Over the next few weeks, Anna focused on creating a routine that would help both dogs feel secure. She scheduled regular walks, playtime, and quiet moments where she would sit with Goldie, gently brushing her fur or simply offering her presence. Slowly, Goldie began to relax. She followed Harper's lead during walks, her tail wagging more often, and even started joining in their games of fetch. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Anna noticed something remarkable. Goldie and Harper were lying side by side in the living room, their bodies curled together in a mirror image. Harper nudged Goldie gently with her nose, and for the first time, Goldie playfully batted back. It was a small gesture, but it filled Anna with hope. Despite these signs of progress, there were still moments when Goldie's past loomed large. Thunderstorms in particular seemed to trigger deep anxiety in her. One night, as a storm rolled through, Anna found Goldie trembling under the dining table, her ears pinned back and her eyes wide with fear. "It's okay, Goldie," Anna said softly, crouching down to her level. She reached out a hand, letting Goldie sniff it before gently stroking her head. Harper padded over, lying down beside her sister and resting her chin on Goldie's back. The sight brought tears to Anna's eyes. Even in her fear, Goldie wasn't alone. She had Harper, a sister who seemed to understand her pain in a way no one else could. Determined to help Goldie overcome her fears, Anna began researching ways to build her confidence. She introduced calming techniques, like playing soft music during storms and using a weighted blanket to help Goldie feel secure. She also reached out to a local trainer who specialized in working with rescue dogs. The trainer, a compassionate woman named Elena, visited the house to assess Goldie. "She's come a long way already," Elena observed, watching as Goldie cautiously approached her. "The bond she has with Harper is incredible. We can use that to help her feel more confident." Together, Anna and Elena developed a training plan that focused on positive reinforcement and gradual exposure to Goldie's triggers. Harper was included in the sessions, her playful energy serving as a source of encouragement for her sister. One breakthrough moment came during a trip to the local park. It was a sunny afternoon, and the park was bustling with families, joggers, and other dogs. Harper, as usual, bounded ahead, eager to explore. Goldie stayed close to Anna at first, her steps hesitant. "Take it slow," Elena advised, walking alongside them. "Let her set the pace." Anna nodded, giving Goldie plenty of time to adjust. Slowly but surely, the stray began to relax. She sniffed the grass, watched the other dogs from a safe distance, and even wagged her tail when a friendly Labrador approached. By the end of the outing, Goldie was trotting alongside Harper, her ears perked and her demeanor calm. Anna couldn't help but smile, her heart swelling with pride. Back at home that evening, Anna reflected on the progress they had made. Goldie still had a long road ahead, but she was no longer the timid stray who had arrived on their doorstep. She was a beloved member of the family, and together they were building a life filled with love and trust. As Anna prepared for bed, she noticed Harper and Goldie curled up together once more, their breathing synchronized. It was a sight that filled her with gratitude, a reminder of the power of family in all its forms. As Goldie continued to adapt to her new life, Anna began to notice subtle but persistent challenges that hinted at the complexity of Goldie's past. One particular morning, while walking Harper and Goldie along a quiet neighborhood trail, a jogger wearing a bright orange jacket approached. Goldie froze in her tracks, her body stiff, and let out a low, guttural growl. It was the first time Anna had seen her act this way. "Easy, Goldie," Anna said gently, kneeling beside her. She stroked Goldie's fur, trying to soothe her, but the dog's gaze remained fixed on the jogger until he was well out of sight. Later that day, Anna recounted the incident to Elena, the trainer. "It was so unlike her," Anna explained. "She's usually so calm, but something about that jogger, maybe the bright jacket, seemed to set her off." Elena nodded thoughtfully. "It's not uncommon for rescue dogs to have triggers tied to past traumas. The color, the motion, or even the scent of someone could remind her of a negative experience. It's important to observe these moments and work on desensitizing her." Anna felt a pang of sympathy for Goldie. The idea that her sweet dog might still be haunted by her past broke her heart. She resolved to help Goldie overcome these fears, no matter how long it took. Meanwhile, Harper began exhibiting her own changes in behavior. She was no longer the only dog in the house, and though she clearly adored her new sister, Anna noticed moments of jealousy creeping in. When Anna gave Goldie extra attention during training or comforted her during storms, Harper would sometimes nudge her way in between them, demanding her own share of affection. Anna realized she needed to ensure both dogs felt equally loved. She began dedicating special time to Harper, taking her on solo walks and playing their favorite games together. It was a delicate balance, but Anna was determined to maintain harmony in her little family. One evening, as Anna sat on the couch with Harper and Goldie curled up on either side of her, she received an unexpected phone call. It was from a woman named Lisa, who introduced herself as a volunteer at the shelter where Goldie had been found. "I just wanted to check in and see how Goldie is doing," Lisa said warmly. "She's such a special dog, and we were all rooting for her to find a good home." Anna smiled, her heart swelling with gratitude. "She's doing great. Kurt's been an adjustment, but she's made so much progress. I can't imagine life without her." "That's wonderful to hear," Lisa replied. "Goldie's story touched all of us at the shelter. You know, she was found near an abandoned construction site, protecting a small litter of puppies." Anna's breath caught. "Puppies," she echoed, her mind racing. "Yes," Lisa confirmed. "Unfortunately, when she was brought in, the puppies were nowhere to be found. So it's possible they were taken or wandered off before we arrived. Goldie was so protective, it was clear she had been caring for them." The revelation shed new light on Goldie's behavior. Anna couldn't help but wonder if Goldie's cautious demeanor and lingering anxieties stemmed from the loss of her pups. The bond between a mother and her young was unbreakable, and Anna felt a renewed sense of responsibility to provide Goldie with the love and security she had lost. That night, as Goldie rested her head on Anna's lap, Anna whispered softly, "I'm so sorry for everything you've been through, sweet girl. I promise I'll take care of you." The discovery of Goldie's past also sparked a new mission for Anna. She began researching local rescues and shelters, reaching out to see if any of Goldie's puppies might have been found. It was a long shot, she knew, but she couldn't shake the idea of reuniting Goldie with her lost family. In the meantime, she shared the story with Harper. "Your sister is a little hero," Anna told her, scratching behind her ears. "She protected her babies with everything she had, and now she's part of our family." Harper wagged her tail, as if understanding every word, and leaned closer to Goldie, nudging her gently with her nose. The following weekend, Anna received a call from a shelter in a neighboring town. "We recently took in a young dog who matches the description of one of Goldie's pups," the staff member said. "She's a bit older now, but her markings are remarkably similar." Anna's heart raced. Could it really be one of Goldie's puppies? She immediately arranged to visit the shelter, bringing Goldie along to see if the two dogs would recognize each other. When Anna and Goldie arrived at the shelter, they were led to a fenced play area where a young, energetic dog waited. The staff member explained, "We've been calling her Daisy. She's very friendly but has been a little reserved around other dogs." Goldie's reaction was immediate. As soon as she spotted Daisy, she froze, her ears perked and her tail wagging tentatively. Daisy, for her part, seemed unsure at first, but as Goldie approached, her posture relaxed. The two dogs sniffed each other cautiously before Daisy let out a small, excited bark. Anna watched in awe as Goldie's demeanor transformed. She became animated, her tail wagging furiously as she and Daisy began to circle each other, their movements almost like a dance. It was clear there was a connection, one that went beyond words. As Anna prepared to bring Daisy home, she couldn't help but feel overwhelmed by the serendipity of it all. Goldie had already brought so much love into their lives, and now they were expanding their family once again. Bringing Daisy home was a joyful yet challenging experience. Anna carefully introduced Daisy to the house, ensuring that Goldie and Harper had plenty of space and time to adjust. While Goldie seemed overjoyed to have her pup back, Harper's reaction was more reserved. She watched the new addition with curiosity, occasionally letting out a soft growl when Daisy ventured too close. Anna knew that building harmony among the three dogs would take time. She set up a strict routine to avoid any feelings of favoritism. Mealtimes were organized, with each dog having its designated spot. Playtime was supervised to ensure fairness, and Anna spent individual moments with each dog to strengthen her bond with them. Goldie, however, appeared to take on the role of protector with renewed vigor. She constantly shadowed Daisy, as if afraid to lose her again. At night, instead of curling up on her usual bed in Anna's room, Goldie chose to sleep beside Daisy in the cozy corner Anna had prepared for the younger dog. Harper, meanwhile, retreated to her usual spot, watching the two with a mix of curiosity and mild jealousy. One afternoon, as Anna was folding laundry in the living room, she noticed Harper sitting by the window, her gaze fixed on Goldie and Daisy playing in the yard. Her posture was tense, her ears slightly back, a clear sign of unease. Anna knelt beside Harper, gently stroking her fur. "Feeling left out, girl?" she asked softly. Harper leaned into Anna's touch, letting out a small sigh. "You're still my special girl," Anna reassured her. "But we're a bigger family now, and I need your help to make it work." Harper seemed to understand, licking Anna's hand before wagging her tail slightly. Anna decided it was time to foster a closer bond between Harper and Daisy. She began by involving Harper in Daisy's training sessions, praising Harper for her patience and calm demeanor. Slowly, Harper began to relax, even initiating play with Daisy on a few occasions. Despite the growing connection between the dogs, Anna couldn't shake the feeling that Goldie was holding on to something deeper. She often caught Goldie staring at Daisy with a mix of love and sorrow, as if remembering the pups she couldn't save. Anna's heart ached for her loyal companion, and she wondered how to help her heal. During a phone call with Eleanor, Anna voiced her concerns. "Goldie seems happy with Daisy, but there's still this sadness in her eyes. Do you think she's still mourning her other pups?" "It's very likely," Elena replied. "Dogs can experience grief just like humans. Even though she has Daisy back, she might still feel the loss of the others. The best thing you can do is provide her with a stable, loving environment and let her process in her own time." Anna thanked Eleanor, determined to give Goldie the comfort she needed. She began incorporating moments of quiet bonding into their routine, sitting with Goldie in the evenings while Harper and Daisy played together. She'd stroke Goldie's fur and speak to her in soothing tones, reminding her that she was safe and loved. As the weeks passed, a heartwarming transformation began to unfold. Harper and Daisy grew closer, their playful interactions becoming more frequent and natural. Goldie seemed to relax as she saw her family forming strong bonds. Anna could see that the love and trust between the dogs were growing each day, but the journey wasn't without its challenges. One stormy night, Anna was awoken by the sound of Goldie whimpering. She found Goldie pacing near the back door, her eyes darting anxiously toward the window. Outside, the rain lashed against the glass, and the occasional clap of thunder shook the house. Anna knelt beside Goldie, wrapping her arms around her trembling body. "It's okay, girl," she whispered. "You're safe here." Goldie leaned into Anna, but her restlessness persisted. Harper and Daisy, sensing her distress, approached cautiously. Harper nuzzled Goldie's side, while Daisy sat nearby, her tail wagging gently as if trying to comfort her. The sight brought tears to Anna's eyes. It was as if the dogs understood Goldie's pain and were doing their best to support her. Anna stayed with them through the night, creating a cocoon of warmth and reassurance that seemed to ease Goldie's fears. The storm passed by morning, and with it, some of the lingering tension in the household. Goldie's steps were lighter, and her interactions with Daisy and Harper more relaxed. Anna felt a renewed sense of hope for their blended family. One evening, as Anna prepared dinner, she heard a joyful commotion in the backyard. She looked out to see all three dogs playing together, their tails wagging furiously as they chased each other in circles. Goldie and Daisy paused to share a quick nuzzle before rejoining the game, while Harper barked excitedly, her eyes shining with happiness. Anna stepped outside, her heart swelling at the sight. "Look at my beautiful family," she said aloud, her voice filled with emotion. The dogs ran to her, showering her with affection. Harper nudged her hand, Daisy licked her cheek, and Goldie pressed her head against Anna's leg, her eyes filled with gratitude. In that moment, Anna realized how far they had come. The journey hadn't been easy, but every challenge had brought them closer together. Goldie had found her home, Daisy had found her mother, and Harper had embraced her new role as a sister. The bond they shared was unbreakable, a testament to the power of love, patience, and the resilience of the heart. As life began to settle into a happy rhythm, Anna couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. Her little family of 3 dogs had grown stronger, their bond undeniable. Goldie had regained much of her confidence. Daisy's youthful energy brightened their days. And Harper, once hesitant, had fully embraced her role as the older, wiser sister. Yet, a lingering curiosity gnawed at Anna's mind. Were there other pieces of Goldie's past still undiscovered? One day, while scrolling through her emails, Anna noticed a message from Lisa, the shelter volunteer who had first shared Goldie's backstory. The subject line read, "New lead on Goldie's story." Anna's heart skipped a beat as she clicked it open. "Hi Anna," the email began. "I hope you, Goldie, and the rest of your pack are doing well. I wanted to share something interesting. A local rescue group recently contacted us about a dog they found near the same construction site where Goldie was rescued. The dog has similar markings and might be related to Goldie. Would you be interested in meeting this dog? Let me know." Anna's mind raced. Could this be one of Goldie's missing puppies? She replied immediately, expressing her eagerness to meet the dog and learn more. 2 days later, Anna drove to the rescue group's facility, Goldie riding shotgun. The normally calm dog seemed unusually alert, her ears perked up and her tail wagging slightly as they neared their destination. It was as if she could sense that this trip was different. At the rescue, Anna was greeted by a kind woman named Teresa, who led them to an outdoor pen. Inside, a sleek, medium-sized dog with fur that mirrored Goldie's stood nervously near the fence. "We've been calling her Luna," Teresa explained. "She's cautious, but sweet once she warms up to you. We found her wandering near the site, and based on her demeanor, we think she might have been part of a pack." Goldie's reaction was immediate and powerful. She froze, staring at Luna with wide eyes. Then, tail wagging furiously, she let out a soft, high-pitched bark, a sound Anna had never heard from her before. Luna responded in kind, her ears perking up as she cautiously approached the fence. Teresa opened the gate to allow the 2 dogs to meet. Goldie and Luna sniffed each other tentatively at first, but within moments, they were circling each other excitedly, tails wagging and noses nuzzling. Anna watched in awe, tears welling up in her eyes. It was clear that the 2 dogs recognized each other. As Anna finalized the paperwork to adopt Luna, she couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. She was thrilled to reunite Goldie with another member of her family, but the questions surrounding Goldie's past loomed larger than ever. Why had Goldie and her puppies been abandoned? And how many more of her pups might still be out there? Back at home, Luna's arrival sparked another wave of adjustment. Harper was initially wary, keeping her distance while Daisy eagerly tried to befriend the newcomer. Goldie, however, was in her element, sticking close to Luna and showing her around the house and yard, as if reuniting with an old friend. Anna noticed that Luna shared some of Goldie's behaviors, tilting her head in the same way when curious, and favoring the same cozy corner of the couch. Yet, Luna also carried her own set of fears. She flinched at loud noises and avoided certain areas of the yard, as if haunted by memories of her time on the streets. Determined to help Luna adjust, Anna reached out to Eleanor for advice. "It's like she's caught between being happy and scared," Anna explained. "She'll play with Daisy and Goldie, but then she suddenly retreats and hides." Elena suggested creating a safe space for Luna, a quiet area where she could retreat without feeling overwhelmed. Anna transformed a corner of the living room into a cozy haven with soft blankets and toys. She also started using calming techniques, like soft music and lavender-infused sprays, to help Luna relax. Despite the challenges, Luna began to settle in. She grew more confident with each passing day, and her bond with Goldie deepened. The two dogs were inseparable, often seen lying side by side or playfully tugging on a toy together. Harper, too, warmed up to Luna, her initial hesitation giving way to a protective instinct. One evening, as the four dogs lounged together, Anna felt a wave of gratitude. Her home was fuller and happier than ever, and the bond between her canine companions was undeniable. But the mystery of Goldie's past refused to fade. Late one night, Anna found herself staring at the documents Teresa had provided about Luna's rescue. Included in the paperwork was a grainy photo of the abandoned construction site. In the corner of the image, barely visible, was a spray-painted logo, a name Anna didn't recognize but decided to investigate. Using her laptop, she typed the name into a search engine and discovered that the construction company had gone bankrupt years ago. However, one article mentioned that the site had been used as an illegal dumping ground for animals by a disreputable breeder trying to avoid authorities. Anna's heart sank as she realized the full extent of what Goldie and her puppies had endured. Determined to do more, Anna reached out to Lisa and Teresa, proposing a collaboration to raise awareness about abandoned and mistreated animals. Together, they planned a community event featuring adoption drives, educational talks, and a fundraiser for local shelters. The event became a huge success, drawing attention to the plight of rescue animals and celebrating their resilience. Goldie, Daisy, Luna, and Harper even made a special appearance, their story inspiring countless attendees. As Anna watched her dogs interact with visitors, she felt a sense of peace. The road to this moment had been long and filled with challenges, but it had also been deeply rewarding. Goldie's story wasn't just about survival. It was about love, healing, and the power of second chances. As the days turned into weeks, Luna fully embraced her new life with Anna and the other dogs. The once nervous pup now frolicked freely in the yard, her tail wagging joyfully as she played tug-of-war with Daisy or chased Harper through the garden. Goldie's maternal instincts flourished as she cared for Luna, her bond with the younger dog stronger than ever. Yet, Anna couldn't shake the feeling that there was still more to uncover about Goldie's mysterious past. One afternoon, while Anna was cleaning out the garage, she stumbled upon a box of old photographs and documents she had kept from her first visit to the shelter. Among them was Goldie's original intake form, scribbled with notes about her condition and the location where she was found. Curious, Anna decided to revisit the site where Goldie's journey had begun. She loaded Goldie and Luna into the car, hoping the trip would bring her closer to understanding the full story. Harper and Daisy watched from the window, their tails wagging as Anna promised to return soon. The drive to the abandoned construction site was quiet, Goldie and Luna sitting close to each other in the back seat. When they arrived, the site was overgrown with weeds, the skeletal remains of half-built structures standing as a stark reminder of neglect. Anna walked slowly through the area, her dogs by her side, scanning for anything that might provide a clue about Goldie's life before she was rescued. As they wandered, Luna suddenly froze, her ears perked and her nose twitching. Goldie followed suit, her tail rising in alert. Both dogs seemed fixated on a crumbling section of a wall near the far end of the site. Anna approached cautiously, her heart racing. She spotted a small metal tag partially buried in the dirt. Picking it up, she brushed off the dirt to reveal a faded but legible name, Everbright Kennels. Her stomach tightened as she recognized the name from her earlier research into the disreputable breeder associated with the site. Taking a photo of the tag with her phone, Anna resolved to dig deeper into the kennel's history. She contacted Lisa and Teresa, sharing her findings and asking if they had encountered any other dogs connected to Everbright Kennels. The next day, Lisa called Anna with surprising news. "I've been digging through our records," she said. "It turns out Goldie wasn't the only dog we rescued from that area. We had a few others come through around the same time. Some were adopted out quickly, but a couple of them might still be in foster care." Anna's heart leaped at the possibility. "Can you help me track them down?" she asked eagerly. Lisa agreed, promising to send over contact information for the foster families. Anna spent the rest of the day preparing herself for the potential reunion, wondering how Goldie and Luna might react to meeting more members of their pack. The following weekend, Anna arranged to visit one of the foster homes. She brought Goldie and Luna along, their excitement palpable as they hopped into the car. When they arrived, they were greeted by an elderly woman named Margaret, who had been fostering a sleek, black dog named Shadow. Shadow was very shy at first, Margaret explained, leading them to the backyard where the dog lay sunbathing. "But he's come a long way." Goldie and Luna immediately perked up, their tails wagging furiously as they approached Shadow. The black dog stood, sniffing cautiously at first, before recognizing his former packmates. What followed was a whirlwind of wagging tails, playful barks, and joyous circling. Margaret watched in amazement, tears streaming down her face. "This is incredible," Margaret said, her voice thick with emotion. "I always wondered if Shadow had family out there." Anna couldn't help but smile as she watched the dogs interact. "It seems like they were meant to find each other again," she said softly. As they drove home with Shadow, Anna couldn't stop marveling at the bond between the dogs. She decided to officially adopt Shadow, knowing he was meant to be part of their growing family. At home, Harper and Daisy greeted the newcomer with enthusiasm, their tails wagging as they sniffed him from head to toe. Within days, Shadow fit seamlessly into the pack, his calm demeanor complementing the others' vibrant personalities. Meanwhile, Anna continued her efforts to bring attention to the plight of rescue dogs. She reached out to local journalists, sharing the incredible story of Goldie and her reunited family. The tale captured hearts, sparking a wave of support for rescue organizations in the area. Donations poured in, and more volunteers signed up to help with shelter efforts. One evening, as Anna sat in the living room surrounded by her dogs, she reflected on how much had changed since Goldie first entered her life. The timid, malnourished dog she had brought home had blossomed into a confident and loving leader of her pack. Each dog had their unique personality and story, but together they had created a family built on love, trust, and resilience. Goldie, now stretched out on the couch beside Anna, let out a contented sigh. Luna lay curled up at her feet, while Shadow and Harper dozed near the fireplace. Daisy, ever the playful one, lay on her back, pawing at the air in her sleep. Hannah stroked Goldie's fur, her heart swelling with gratitude. "You've come so far, haven't you, girl?" she whispered. Goldie turned her head, her amber eyes locking onto Anna's with a look that seemed to say, "We've come this far together." As the fire crackled and the room filled with the soft sounds of sleeping dogs, Anna felt a profound sense of peace. Her journey with Goldie and her pack wasn't just about rescuing animals. It was about building a family and finding joy in the most unexpected places. Despite the joy of Goldie's growing pack and the heartwarming reunions, Anna couldn't shake a gnawing sense of unfinished business. The metal tag from Everbright Kennels haunted her thoughts. She knew that uncovering the full story behind Goldie's past was essential, not only for her peace of mind, but also to bring attention to the systemic neglect tied to the breeding operation. One evening, while scrolling through her phone, Anna stumbled upon a news article detailing ongoing investigations into illegal breeding facilities. Her heart raced as she saw Everbright Kennels mentioned. The report outlined years of alleged mistreatment, fraudulent records, and abandoned dogs, cases that matched Goldie's condition when Anna first found her. Anna reached out to Lisa, asking if she could connect her with anyone involved in the investigation. Within days, Anna found herself on a Zoom call with a reporter named Mark, who had been following the Everbright story for months. "Goldie's case could be the key to unraveling this entire operation," Mark explained, his voice steady but tinged with urgency. "If we can prove her connection to Everbright and find others like her, We could shut them down for good. What can I do to help? Anna asked, her determination evident. Mark hesitated before replying. We'll need evidence, documents, witnesses, or even former employees willing to testify. Have you noticed anything unusual or suspicious connected to Goldie? Anna thought for a moment before mentioning the other dogs she had found through Lisa. Some of them might still have microchips from Everbright, she said. Could that help? Mark's eyes lit up. Absolutely. If we can trace those microchips back to Everbright, it would be a game changer. With renewed purpose, Anna began coordinating with Lisa and other foster families to gather information on dogs rescued from the area. She also arranged for a vet appointment to check for microchips in Goldie, Luna, and Shadow, hoping their histories might provide crucial evidence. The vet visit brought mixed emotions. Goldie's microchip was still intact, but the records associated with it were incomplete, likely tampered with during the breeding operation. Luna's chip was unregistered, while Shadow's contained a faint lead, an outdated contact number for Everbright kennels. Anna forwarded the findings to Mark, who promised to investigate further. Meanwhile, Anna found herself struggling with a difficult decision. Should she allow her dogs to be part of the legal proceedings, exposing them to potential stress and media attention? Or should she protect them from the chaos, knowing it might hinder the investigation? One evening, as Anna sat on the porch watching the dogs play in the yard, she confided in her neighbor and close friend, Carol. I just want what's best for them, Anna said, her voice heavy with worry. They've already been through so much. What if this brings back bad memories for them? Carol placed a reassuring hand on Anna's shoulder. You've given them a safe and loving home, Anna. Whatever decision you make, they'll trust you. But think about the other dogs still out there. What if your actions could save them? Anna nodded, her heart torn. She knew Carol was right. This wasn't just about Goldie, Luna, or Shadow. It was about every animal trapped in the same cruel system they had escaped. The turning point came when Mark called with a startling update. Anna, we've found a former employee of Everbright willing to speak out, he said. But they need to remain anonymous for safety reasons. They mentioned Goldie specifically, describing her as one of the strongest and most resilient dogs they'd ever seen. Anna's breath caught. What did they say about her? That she protected the younger pups even when she was injured, Mark said. They called her the Guardian. It sounds like she saved lives. Tears welled in Anna's eyes as she glanced at Goldie, who was lounging on the porch steps, her amber eyes scanning the yard like a true guardian. What do you need from me? Anna asked, her voice steady despite her emotions. Mark outlined the next steps, gathering video footage of the dogs, documenting their recovery journeys, and submitting statements about their behavior and health. He also encouraged Anna to prepare for potential interviews, as her story could amplify the case against Everbright. Anna spent the next week compiling everything she could. She filmed Goldie and her pack enjoying their new life, highlighting their transformation from neglected rescues to thriving family members. She also worked closely with Lisa and Teresa, gathering similar stories from other foster families. The investigation gained momentum, with Mark's reports drawing public attention. Animal welfare organizations rallied behind the cause, demanding justice for the dogs who had suffered under Everbright's negligence. Donations poured in, enabling shelters to expand their operations and rescue more animals from precarious situations. Despite the progress, Anna couldn't ignore the growing anxiety in her household. Goldie, ever perceptive, seemed to sense the weight of the situation. She stayed close to Anna, her gentle presence a constant source of comfort. Meanwhile, Luna and Shadow exhibited subtle signs of unease, their playful energy subdued. Anna knew she needed to reassure her pack. One evening, as they all gathered in the living room, she spoke softly, her voice carrying a mix of love and determination. I know things have been a little different lately, she said, stroking Goldie's fur. But I promise, everything I'm doing is to help you and others like you. Goldie nuzzled Anna's hand, her warm eyes conveying a silent understanding. It was a small but powerful reminder that their bond was unbreakable, no matter the challenges ahead. As the public pressure on Everbright intensified, Anna received an invitation to appear on a local news segment to share Goldie's story. It was a daunting prospect, but Anna knew it was an opportunity she couldn't pass up. She rehearsed her words carefully, determined to convey the urgency of the situation while honoring the resilience of her beloved dogs. The stage was set for a climactic moment in Anna's fight for justice, a moment that would test her courage and commitment to the animals she loved. The day of the interview arrived, a mix of anticipation and unease hanging in the air. Anna woke up early, her heart pounding as she mentally rehearsed the points she wanted to cover. Goldie lay curled up beside the bed, as if sensing the weight of the day ahead. Anna reached down to stroke her, finding solace in her loyal companion. "We've got this, girl," she whispered, and Goldie wagged her tail in quiet reassurance. By late morning, Anna was dressed and ready, her nerves barely contained. She wore her best business attire, something she hadn't put on in years, and made sure her notes were neatly tucked into her bag. Goldie sat by the door, alert and watchful, as if knowing she was part of the plan. Anna had called the shelter earlier, confirming the presence of the officer who had mistreated Goldie. They agreed to let her tell her story during a staff meeting, a rare opportunity to confront the situation head-on. As Anna arrived at the shelter, Goldie trotted beside her, her leash loose but her posture alert. The staff welcomed Anna warmly, but there was a palpable tension in the room. Some glanced at Goldie with recognition, their expressions ranging from guilt to curiosity. At the back of the room, the officer sat with a stiff posture, his gaze locked on Goldie. Anna began her presentation by introducing herself and Goldie. She shared the story of how she found Goldie, her transformation from a fearful stray to a confident companion, and the role the shelter's negligence played in the dog's suffering. As she spoke, her voice grew stronger, fueled by the emotions she had carried for so long. "I want to make one thing clear," Anna said, her gaze sweeping across the room. "This is not about blame, it's about accountability. Dogs like Goldie rely on us to be their advocates, their protectors. When we fail them, they pay the price." Goldie sat calmly at her feet, her steady presence lending weight to Anna's words. The staff members shifted uncomfortably, some nodding in agreement, while others avoided eye contact. Finally, Anna turned her attention to the officer, who sat motionless, his jaw tight. "I'd like to hear from you," Anna said, her voice measured but firm. "Why did you spray her that day? What were you thinking?" The room fell silent. All eyes turned to the officer, whose face flushed under the scrutiny. He cleared his throat, his voice hesitant as he began to speak. I thought she was a threat," he said, his gaze flickering toward Goldie. "She was growling, and I panicked. I didn't think, I just reacted." Anna nodded, her expression unreadable. "And do you see her as a threat now?" The officer shook his head, his voice barely above a whisper. "No, I was wrong. I see that now." Anna took a deep breath, steadying herself. "We all make mistakes. What matters is how we learn from them. Goldie isn't just a dog, she's a testament to resilience and forgiveness. But it's up to us to create a system that doesn't rely on their ability to forgive us." The officer looked down, his hands clasped tightly in his lap. "I want to make it right," he said. "I don't know how, but I want to." Anna softened, sensing his sincerity. "You can start by joining me. Let's work together to ensure this never happens again." Goldie's story can be a turning point, not just for her, but for every dog that comes through these doors. The room buzzed with quiet murmurs. Staff members exchanged glances, some nodding in agreement. The officer looked up, meeting Anna's gaze with a tentative but determined expression. "Okay," he said, "I'm in." Anna smiled, a sense of relief washing over her. She looked down at Goldie, who wagged her tail as if she, too, sensed the shift. "This is only the beginning," Anna said, addressing the room. "Goldie's story isn't just about what happened, it's about what we choose to do next." As the meeting concluded, Anna felt a newfound sense of hope. The shelter director approached her, thanking her for her courage and inviting her to lead a series of workshops for the staff. The officer lingered, asking if he could spend time with Goldie to understand her better. Anna agreed, watching as Goldie cautiously sniffed his outstretched hand before giving him a tentative lick. Outside the shelter, Anna knelt beside Goldie, wrapping her arms around her loyal companion. "You did it, girl," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "You changed hearts today." Goldie licked Anna's cheek, her tail wagging in a steady rhythm of joy. Together, they walked back to the car, the weight of the past replaced by the promise of a brighter future. As Anna drove home from the shelter, the events of the day replayed in her mind. The emotions were still raw, but she felt an undeniable sense of accomplishment. Goldie lay quietly in the back seat, her head resting on her paws, as if she too understood the gravity of what had just unfolded. The confrontation had marked a turning point, but Anna knew it was just the beginning. Change was never immediate. It required persistence and dedication. For Goldie, however, this day marked a moment of justice, a recognition of her suffering and triumph. Anna glanced in the rearview mirror, her eyes meeting Goldie's warm, trusting gaze. "You're incredible, you know that," Anna murmured, her voice filled with emotion. Goldie wagged her tail gently in response, the bond between them stronger than ever. That evening, Anna and Goldie sat together on the porch, watching the sun dip below the horizon. The quiet hum of the crickets filled the air, a soothing backdrop to the whirlwind of thoughts racing through Anna's mind. Her phone buzzed, and she saw a message from the shelter director. "Director, thank you again for today. Your words left a mark on all of us. Let's schedule the first workshop next week." Anna smiled, the message a small but significant victory. She set the phone down, turning her attention to Goldie. "Looks like we'll be busy, girl. You're going to help us teach people how amazing dogs like you can be." Goldie's ears perked up at Anna's voice, and she leaned into her side, a picture of contentment. The peace of the moment was interrupted by the crunch of gravel in the driveway. Anna looked up to see the officer from the shelter stepping out of his car, holding a small box in his hands. Anna stood, her heart pounding. Goldie, sensing the tension, stayed close by her side but didn't bark. The officer approached slowly, his expression contrite. "I hope I'm not intruding," he began, his voice unsure. I wanted to apologize properly." Anna crossed her arms, her gaze steady. "You already did that today. What's this about?" The officer hesitated before holding out the box. "It's something for Goldie. I thought it might be a small step toward making amends." Anna took the box cautiously, opening it to reveal a custom leather collar with Goldie's name embossed in gold lettering. Her breath caught as she ran her fingers over the intricate craftsmanship. "It's beautiful," Anna said softly, glancing at the officer. "But it's going to take more than this to make things right." "I know," he said, his voice earnest. "That's why I'm here. I want to help with the workshops. I've been thinking about what you said today, and you're right. We need to do better. I need to do better." Anna studied him for a long moment, weighing his words. Finally, she nodded. "If you're serious about this, I'll hold you to it. But it's going to take more than just showing up. You need to truly listen and learn." The officer nodded, his expression determined. "I will, and thank you for giving me the chance." Anna extended her hand, and he shook it firmly. Goldie stepped forward, her nose twitching as she sniffed at his boots. The officer knelt, his movements slow and deliberate, and held out his hand. To Anna's surprise, Goldie licked it, her tail wagging cautiously. "She forgives you," Anna said, her voice tinged with emotion. "But don't take that lightly." "I won't," he promised, standing and giving Goldie one last look before turning back to his car. "Thank you again for everything." As his car disappeared down the driveway, Anna turned to Goldie, fastening the new collar around her neck. "It suits you," she said, admiring the way the gold lettering caught the fading light. "You deserve this and so much more." Later that night, as Anna lay in bed, her thoughts returned to the journey she and Goldie had taken together. From the terrified stray huddled on her porch to the confident companion who had inspired change, Goldie had become a symbol of resilience and hope. Their story wasn't just about survival, it was about transformation, forgiveness, and the enduring bond between humans and animals. Anna reached out to stroke Goldie, who was curled up at her feet, her breathing soft and steady. "We're going to make a difference, Goldie," she whispered. "Together, we're going to change the way people see dogs like you." Goldie shifted in her sleep, a soft sigh escaping her lips. For the first time in what felt like forever, Anna felt a profound sense of peace. Their fight wasn't over, but they were no longer alone. With each step forward, they were paving the way for a better future. not just for Goldie, but for every dog in need of a second chance. The days that followed marked the beginning of a new chapter for Anna and Goldie. Word of Goldie's story spread quickly. Drawing attention from local news outlets and animal advocacy groups, Anna found herself overwhelmed by messages of support, volunteers eager to help, and donations pouring in to support the workshops she had envisioned. In their quiet town, a ripple effect began. People who had never given much thought to stray dogs started to see them in a new light, not as nuisances, but as creatures deserving of compassion and care. Goldie, with her gentle demeanor and resilience, became the face of this movement, attending events and workshops alongside Anna, who shared their story with passion and authenticity. The workshops were a resounding success. Held at community centers, schools, and even the local police station, they attracted people from all walks of life. Anna spoke candidly about her journey with Goldie, showing before and after photos that highlighted the transformative power of love and trust. One evening, as Anna prepared for another workshop, a knock at her door startled her. She opened it to find the officer standing there, a sheepish smile on his face. "I didn't want to interrupt, but I wanted to give you this," he said, handing her a folder. "It's a proposal for a new training program for officers focused on humane interactions with stray animals." Anna took the folder, flipping through its pages. Her chest swelled with pride as she read the detailed plans, complete with suggestions for community involvement and partnerships with local shelters. "This is incredible," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "Thank you for taking this seriously." The officer nodded, his expression earnest. "I have you and Goldie to thank for opening my eyes. I hope this can be a step toward making amends." Anna smiled, shaking his hand. "It's a step in the right direction." The proposal was soon adopted, with officers undergoing training sessions led by Anna and shelter staff. Goldie often accompanied her, demonstrating the rewards of patience and kindness. Slowly but surely, the community began to shift, its collective mindset evolving toward empathy and understanding. One sunny afternoon, Anna and Goldie took a walk through the park, their favorite retreat after busy weeks of workshops and events. As they strolled along the path, Anna noticed families playing, children laughing, and dogs chasing balls. Many of them rescues that had found loving homes through their efforts. Goldie trotted happily by Anna's side, her new collar gleaming in the sunlight. Passers-by often stopped to greet her, some even recognizing her from the local news. Goldie, ever gentle and trusting, wagged her tail at each encounter, her soulful eyes conveying gratitude and joy. As they rounded a bend, Anna spotted a familiar figure sitting on a bench. It was the officer, tossing a ball for a sprightly mixed-breed dog. He looked up and waved, motioning for Anna and Goldie to join him. "I adopted her a few weeks ago," he said, gesturing to the dog. "Meet Luna." Goldie approached Luna cautiously, the two dogs sniffing each other before breaking into playful bows. Anna laughed, watching the dogs dart around the grassy field. "She's perfect," Anna said, turning to the officer. "You've come a long way." "So have you," he replied, his voice sincere. "You and Goldie have made a difference here." Anna nodded, her gaze fixed on the dogs. "It's amazing what love and a little faith can do." As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the park, Anna felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. What had started as a single act of kindness had blossomed into a movement that transformed lives, Goldie's, her own, and countless others. Back at home that evening, Anna settled onto the porch swing, Goldie curled up beside her. The air was filled with the soothing sounds of crickets and the occasional hoot of an owl. Anna sipped her tea, reflecting on the journey that had brought them to this moment. "I never could have imagined this," she murmured, scratching Goldie behind the ears. "You've shown me what it means to be brave, to fight for what's right and to never give up." Goldie wagged her tail in response, her eyes half closed in contentment. In the stillness of the night, Anna felt a profound sense of gratitude for the challenges that had shaped her, the connections she had forged, and the unwavering loyalty of the dog who had become her partner in this journey. As the stars dotted the sky, Anna whispered a quiet promise to Goldie. "We'll keep going, girl. Together we'll keep making a difference." The world might not change overnight, but Anna knew that with Goldie by her side, they could create a brighter future, one paw print at a time. If you found Anna and Goldie's story inspiring, we'd love for you to join us in spreading the message of kindness and compassion. Don't forget to subscribe for more incredible tales of resilience and hope. And if you're ready for another heartwarming journey, click on the next video. It's one you won't want to miss.